Welcome to the edge, where shadows gather and the weight of doubt crushes the weak. This is not a speech for the faint-hearted. This is a call to those who have been broken, beaten, betrayed, and yet still stand. Burning with a fire they tried to extinguish. They thought they could cage you, trap you in their lies, suffocate you with their rules and dirty games. They played their hand, dealt from the bottom of the deck, blind to the storm raging beneath your skin, blind to the strength forged in the darkest fires of pain and loss. They underestimated the force they were poking, the storm they provoked. You are the reckoning they never saw coming, the shadow that moves unseen, but with an iron will that crushes all doubts and breaks all chains. They thought you were just another pawn, a number to be manipulated, a voice to be silenced. But they didn't realize that when you fall deep enough, when the bottom is all you see, you find a power no one else can reach. A dark, ruthless strength born from suffering, sharpened by betrayal, and fueled by the bitter taste of injustice. They played their game with dirty hands, with venom dripping from their words and poison in their smiles, thinking you would bend, break, or disappear. But you didn't. You rose. You shattered their illusions like glass, cut through their deception like a blade in the night, and stepped into the light they never wanted you to reach. Every insult, every lie, every backstab was a brick in the prison they built around your spirit. But here's the secret. Prisons are for those who accept their chains. You are not one of them. You are the shadow that slips through the bars, the storm that rips apart the walls. Their dirty game was designed to crush hope, to bleed you dry emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. But hope is a weapon, a fire that cannot be doused by tears or threats, and you wield it with the fury of a soul reborn. You looked into the abyss and it blinked first. Your brokenness became your armor. Your scars became your war paint. Your pain became the anthem of your rise. They thought they could break you because they do not understand the power of a soul forged in darkness. Darkness does not destroy. It reveals. It reveals the grit that no amount of cruelty can take away. You learned how to navigate their lies, how to see through the masks they wear, how to stand tall when the ground beneath you shook. You mastered the art of survival, not just in the physical sense, but in the war for your mind and heart. And surviving isn't enough for you. No, you're a force that will not be stopped, a wildfire that spreads with intent and purpose, consuming their lies, burning their falsehoods to ash. You did not rise because the path was easy, or because they showed mercy. You rose because you refused to let their filth stain your soul. You refused to be their victim. Every time they pushed you down, you pushed back harder. Every time they tried to silence you, your voice roared louder. Every time they tightened the noose, you found the blade to cut it loose. And now, standing free, you hold the power to dictate the terms. The game they thought they controlled is now your playground. You are the player who rewrites the rules, who sets the stakes, who decides who wins. They played dirty, but you became untouchable. This is your war cry to the world, to those who thought you were weak, to those who tried to cage your spirit with chains of deceit and cruelty. You were wrong. They were wrong. The pain they inflicted was never the end. It was the beginning of a revolution inside you, a storm that only grows stronger, louder, more relentless. Their dirty game was just a spark, and you are the wildfire. You do not apologize for your scars, for your rage, for the way you fight back with everything you have. Because this is not just survival. It is vengeance. It is triumph. It is the unbreakable spirit that says, I will not fall. I will not bow. I will not be beaten. In the silence after the battle, when the echoes of their lies fade away, what remains is your truth, your strength, your freedom. You broke free not because it was easy, but because you were forged in fire. You carry the scars like badges of honor, proof that they tried to break you and failed. And now, as you stand in the ruins of their dirty game, you are more than a survivor. You are a conqueror, a warrior who has tasted the darkest depths and emerged unshaken, unbroken, unstoppable. They thought they could beat you with their dirty game, but you shattered it piece by piece with the power of your will. You took back control, rewrote your story, and showed the world what true strength looks like. So let this be a message to anyone out there trapped in their own battles, weighed down by the cruelty of others. There is power in breaking free. There is life beyond their lies. There is victory in reclaiming your soul. You are not the product of their darkness. You are the light that shatters it. Stand tall, rise higher, and never forget that the very things they used to try and break you have become the fuel for your unstoppable rise. They thought they could beat you in their dirty game, but you broke free. You broke free, and that freedom is your revenge, your victory, your declaration that you are not theirs to control. You are yours. You are powerful. You are free. And nothing can ever take that away from you again. They thought they could break you down with whispers in the dark, with lies whispered behind your back like venom from snakes. But they didn't see that you have become the storm that swallows those whispers whole. The silence that follows their venomous lies is deafening, and it belongs to you now. You've learned that the only way out of their dirty game is through the fire they set around you, and instead of burning, you became the flame that consumes everything in its path. Every betrayal they threw at you, every secret they spread to poison your name, every plan they made to trap you in a web of deceit, these things became fuel. Fuel for the fire inside you that they tried to extinguish, but only made stronger. They thought their hands were clean, their intentions pure, but the dirt clings to their souls and stains everything they touch. They use their power to manipulate, to pull strings from the shadows, hoping you'd never see the puppeteers behind the curtains. But you saw. You saw through the masks, through the lies layered one on top of the other, and you refused to be blinded. You refused to be a puppet, dancing on their strings. So you cut those strings. You broke free with a fury that could shatter glass, a rage that could crack mountains, a determination that made the impossible look easy. They underestimated the strength of a spirit that refuses to be owned, and that is why you stand here today, unbroken, undefeated, unrelenting. Let them talk. Let them spread their rumors and cast their shadows. Because while they are busy playing their dirty game, you are busy winning the war. They thought the dirt they threw at you would stick, that the weight of their lies would bend your back and break your will. But you are made of sterner stuff. You carry a darkness within you that they fear, the darkness of truth, of resilience, of relentless grit. This darkness is not despair. It is not defeat. It is the quiet power that whispers to you in the dead of night, reminding you that the only chains that bind you are the ones you refuse to break. And break them you did. You shattered those chains like glass, left them lying on the cold floor of their own hypocrisy. You fought in silence when no one was watching, in the shadows where hope seemed to fade. You bled when they laughed, you fell when they stood tall, but you never stayed down. Because you know that the darkest nights birth the brightest stars, and you are that star, burning fiercely, refusing to be snuffed out by their cold winds. Their dirty game was designed to trap you in fear, to make you doubt yourself, to make you question your worth. But you chose something else. You chose to rise, to take back your power, to own your story no matter how dark the chapters may seem. Every scar on your soul is a testament to your fight. Every tear, a baptism into a stronger you. You did not just survive. You thrived in their ruins. They thought their lies would silence your voice, but your roar broke through their walls. You are the echo of every word they tried to erase, the shadow that haunts their every plan. They built their dirty game on the assumption that you were weak, that you could be controlled, that you would be broken. But here's the truth they never wanted you to know. You are not weak. You are the storm they feared, the force of nature they cannot stop. Your freedom is a battle cry, your strength a warning. You don't just break free, you shatter the very foundation of their cruelty. Their dirty game was never about winning. It was about control, about domination, about crushing the spirits of those who dared to stand against them. But control is an illusion, a lie wrapped in chains and fear. You tore that illusion apart. You ripped through their web of deceit with hands that refuse to tremble, with a heart that refuses to be tamed. You took back your power with the ferocity of a warrior who has seen the abyss and smiled. You took back your life from those who tried to steal it, from those who thought you were nothing but a pawn in their game. You proved that no game can hold a soul that refuses to be caged. Now, look around you. See the ruins of their plans, the cracks in their walls, the silence where their lies once screamed. That silence belongs to you. It is the sound of victory, the echo of a spirit set free. You are no longer a player in their dirty game. You are the one who ends it. You write your own rules. You set your own path. You live on your own terms. The darkness that once threatened to consume you has become the source of your power. And from this darkness, you rise, not as a victim, but as a victor, not as a prisoner, but as a king or queen of your own destiny. Remember this: every time they try to pull you back into their game, every time they try to drown your light in their shadows, you have the power to rise again, because you are more than their dirty game. You are the force that breaks it apart, the fire that burns it to ashes, the voice that declares freedom in the face of oppression. You are the darkness that they fear because you are the darkness that refuses to be tamed. You are the light they cannot reach, the strength they cannot break, the soul they cannot own. So stand tall, stand fierce, stand unbreakable, because they thought they could beat you in their dirty game, but you broke free. You broke free with a strength they never imagined, with a fury they never expected, with a spirit that refuses to die. And that freedom is your victory. That freedom is your revenge. That freedom is a story you will tell for the rest of your life, a story of pain turned into power, of darkness turned into light, of a soul that refused to be broken. No matter what they throw at you, no matter how dirty their game gets, you have already won. You have already broken free. And in that breaking free, you found something no one can take away: your true self, your true power, your true freedom. So own it, live it, breathe it, because you are no longer theirs. You are yours. You are free, and you will never be beaten again. They thought their dirty game was the end of your story, the final chapter where you would break, crumble, and disappear into the shadows they crafted for you. But they never understood that every scar, every cut, every bruise they left on your soul was a line in the script of your resurrection. Their cruelty was not your defeat. It was the furnace that purified your spirit, the dark night before your dawn. You did not just escape their dirty game. You tore it apart from the inside out, ripping through every lie and every trap, with hands steadied by pain and eyes blinded by nothing but raw determination. Their game was built on deception and control, but you became the chaos they never anticipated, the wild card that refuses to be tamed, the force that breaks all rules and shatters every illusion. Look back for a moment. Remember how they whispered behind your back, how they laughed at your struggles, how they plotted your downfall with venomous intent. They thought you would crumble under the weight of their hatred, that your spirit would drown in the flood of their lies. But here you are, standing tall like a colossus, unshaken by their storms. Every attempt to break you only carved deeper into the bedrock of your resolve. You became an unyielding fortress, a bastion of strength and defiance in a world that wanted you silent and small. They cast you into the darkness, but you became the darkness, and in it, you found power, purpose, and an unbreakable will. They played dirty, yes. They twisted the rules, bent the truth, and poisoned the well from which your hope once drank. But they didn't realize one thing. Hope is not fragile. It is ferocious. It is not fragile. It is a raging wildfire that consumes everything in its path. And when you finally broke free from their game, you became that wildfire. Your freedom is not a quiet thing. It is a storm that will roar through the halls of their lies and tear down the walls of their deceit. The freedom you reclaimed is a declaration to the world that you will no longer be their victim, their plaything, or their stepping stone. You are the player now, the master of your fate, the architect of your destiny. Every dark night you endured, every tear you shed in silence, every sleepless hour spent wrestling with doubt, they were all a prelude to this moment of triumph. They thought they could beat you because they saw only your scars and not your strength. They saw your pain, but not your power. But power is born in the very places where pain runs deepest. Power is the heartbeat of a soul that refuses to be broken, the flame in the eyes of someone who has stared into the abyss and decided to fight back. You who are that power. You are the living proof that no game, no matter how dirty, can hold down a spirit that refuses to be caged. And now that you have broken free, do not let them fool you into thinking the battle is over. The fight is eternal, because there will always be those who try to drag you back into their games, those who want to pull you down into the mud with them. But you have the armor of experience, the shield of resilience, and the sword of truth. You carry the lessons of your past wounds like weapons forged in fire, and you wield them with precision and unrelenting force. They may try to trap you again, but you know the terrain now. You know every trap, every hidden blade, every poisoned word, and you move through their world with the stealth and strength of a shadow, unseen and unstoppable. Remember, breaking free is not just about escaping. It is about transforming. It is about turning the chains into wings, the wounds into wisdom, and the pain into power. You are not just a survivor. You are a rebirth, a revolution, a force that defies every expectation and crushes every doubt. You broke free from their dirty game, and in doing so you have become something more than they ever imagined, a force of nature, an unstoppable force of will, a living testament to the power of the human spirit when it refuses to be defeated. So carry that power with pride. Let it burn in your veins like wildfire. Let it echo in your voice and blaze in your eyes. They thought they could beat you, but they were wrong. You broke free, and that breaking free is your declaration that you are no longer theirs to control, to hurt, or to diminish. You are yours. You are free. And freedom, my friend, is the most dangerous weapon of all. Now, as you stand on the other side of their dirty game, scarred but sovereign, broken but blazing, know this. Breaking free was never just about escaping their cruelty. It was about reclaiming your soul from the ashes of their lies and betrayal. It was about rising so fiercely that the world can no longer deny your power, your presence, your undeniable truth. They thought they could beat you because they never believed in your strength. They never saw the fire that burned quietly beneath your surface, the storm that gathered in the shadows, the relentless heart that refused to surrender. But you proved them wrong. You turned their dirty game into your battleground, and you emerged victorious, undefeated, and unshackled. This victory is not a gift. It is your birthright, earned with every tear, every scream, every moment you chose to stand when all you wanted was to fall. The freedom you seized is your crown, forged in fire and pain, tempered by relentless courage. Wear it proudly, for it is proof that no darkness can hold a soul that refuses to be broken. You are not a victim of their schemes. You are the nightmare of their control. The very game they thought would destroy you now lies in ruins beneath your feet, and from those ruins you rise, stronger, fiercer, and more unstoppable than ever before. So let this be your legacy, that no matter how dirty the game, no matter how deep the darkness, no one, not even the cruelest of foes, can keep you down when your spirit is unbreakable. You broke free. You conquered the chaos, and in your breaking free, you became everything they feared, the wild, untamed force that cannot be caged, cannot be silenced, and will never be defeated. This is your time. This is your story. Own it, live it, burn it into the world with every breath you take. Because they thought they could beat you in their dirty game, but you broke free, and that freedom is your victory, now and forever. You fought battles no one saw, waged wars in the silence of your soul, and faced enemies who thrived in shadows and deception. They believed that by twisting the rules, hiding behind lies, and playing their dirty game, they could keep you broken, keep you small, keep you under their control. But what they never understood is that the human spirit, when forged in the fires of pain and betrayal, becomes an unstoppable force. You are that force. You are the reckoning that shatters their illusions, the unyielding will that refuses to be tamed. They thought you would bow, but you stood. They thought you would break, but you rose. They thought they could beat you, but you broke free. And now, as you step into the light of your own power, remember, this is not just a moment, it is a revolution. Your breaking free is a seismic shift, a defiant roar into the void that echoes far beyond the walls of their dirty game. It is a declaration to everyone who ever doubted you, betrayed you, or tried to control you. You are not theirs. You belong to no one but yourself. You are the author of your own story, the master of your own fate, and the ruler of your own destiny. Your scars are not marks of defeat. They are emblems of survival, badges of honor worn by warriors who dared to fight back and win. This is your liberation. The chains that once bound you are shattered fragments beneath your feet, reminders not of what held you down, but of how high you have risen. You carry the darkness inside you, not as a burden, but as a source of infinite strength. For in the shadows you learned resilience. In the pain, you discovered power. In the silence, you found your voice. That voice is no longer whispered. It is a thunder that shakes the earth, a fire that burns through the lies, a force that cannot be ignored. You broke free, and in breaking free, you became a force that the world cannot contain. So rise with the knowledge that their dirty game is over. You have rewritten the rules with blood, sweat, and unyielding resolve. You have taken back what they tried to steal, the right to be free, the right to be strong, the right to be unstoppable. Hold on to that freedom like the most precious weapon, because it is. It is your shield against the darkness, your sword against the deceit, your light in the endless night. And as you walk forward, carry this truth with you. No one who is broken free from the worst of games is ever truly beaten again. Your story is not one of defeat, it is one of ascendance, not one of surrender, but of sovereignty, not one of silence, but of thunderous declaration. You broke free, and that freedom is the spark that will ignite the fire in others who are still trapped, still fighting, still hoping. You are a beacon for the broken, a warrior for the lost, and a testament to the unbreakable human spirit. Never forget the power that courses through your veins, the fire that burns within your soul, and the freedom that you earned with every breath and every battle. Because they thought they could beat you in their dirty game, but you broke free, and that is the greatest victory of all.